Okay. You know, we can giggle at it or whatever, but we've had field trips, we've had sicknesses, here for whatever, not here for whatever reason. Okay. I just don't want to hear the excuses tomorrow. Okay. You guys know where all the class videos are located if you were ever missing a class. All right. I want to see good things happen here tomorrow because I know this isn't the easiest stuff. All right. And it would be great to hand back a great grade to you. All right. Okay. I'm not going to, you know, you can do whatever with this. It's on the video. All right. If you want to come in, I can print this to you. I can email it to you. All right. But we just don't have time right now to write down 13 things here. All right. But what I did was I literally went question by question on the test and wrote down the topic that it concerned. All right. Radians to degrees, degrees to radians. I will give you the formula. You'll have a formula sheet tomorrow. Okay. At the end of class, if you want to come up and take a picture of this, that's fine. But I wanted you guys to have time right now to just soak this in for a minute and say, what do you mean by number 10? What do you mean by number 5? Okay. And then I can actually go to your review and say, all right, here's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. So I'll let you guys, if something doesn't seem like, you know, when did we ever do this? Something seems like a foreign language to you up there, let me know now here. All right. So soak that in right now and I can answer any of your questions before we get to the review questions. But again, I went question by question on your unit test, and these are the topics. I know it says 16 questions, so why do I have 13 topics? Well, some repeat. Okay, some will repeat. I'll start as entertaining any topics or questions now. Marissa, let's start it off.
Number 11,
Yep, here we go. Go to your guys. Got your packets on you? I believe it's the question. There's 2 of them in here, so I'll do one of them with you, and you can practice on the other. Can you do let's go to number 29, everybody. 29. It's in the back of your packet. 29, all the review questions in the back of your packet. Okay, here you go, Marissa. I'm using, and this is one I was going to go over anyway. And also there is a second practice question, question number 32. Okay, 32. Yep. After we're, on your own, you can try one out on your own to see how you're doing. Okay, using sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. Find the value of tangent. I give you cosine is 0.4, and we're in what quadrant? Quadrant 4. So at least you're starting to think at the end of this problem, when I'm totally done, my answer should be positive or negative. Which one? I'm finding tangent, and I'm in the 4th quadrant. It should at least be what?
Negative.
Should at least be negative. ASTC, the C in the 4th quadrant means cosine. So at least I know my answer at the end should be negative. All right. So using this, which of the 2 values am I given here? Cosine. So where it says cosine, I can at least plug in 0.4 and solve for what? Sine. Now, how am I going to get to tangent? I'll talk to you at the end of this problem. But at least let's plug in 0.4 right now and solve for sine. So I have sine theta all squared plus 0.4 all squared equals 1. So 0.4 squared, go ahead and move it over to the other side. Get sine all by itself. So you should have gotten 0.16. Move it over. How? Subtract it over. I'll have sine theta squared equals 0.84. Okay, still, next step, getting the squared out of there. Square root both sides, gone, gone. So sine theta is equal to the square root of that, which is 0.91651539. Got to be careful though. Got to be careful here. Because remember, anytime you take the square root, you get the plus and minus version, right? We're in the fourth quadrant. We just found sign. So this answer should be negative. Make sure you're aware of your signs every time, every problem tomorrow. All right, that didn't answer my question though, because the final answer should have been finding what? Okay, tangent. I have sine. I have cosine. How do I find tangent? Tangent. How do I find tangent if I know sine and cosine? Y over x. As far as sine and cosine goes, tangent was equal to sine over. Yep, there you go. Remember, tangent theta is equal to the sine over the cosine. And we have both values. So up top, I'm going to plug in that negative 0.9165139. And on the bottom, that was given to me as 0.4. So divided by negative answer divided by 0.4. We get out, what's our rounding directions here? 100th, negative 2.29. And again, even if you forgot that the sign had to be negative because we're in the fourth quadrant, what did we say at the very beginning of this problem? Our final answer should have been negative anyway. All right, so you still get a second chance even if you forgot the negative the first time. Okay, and look, it's exactly what it's going to be on the test tomorrow. Find tangent. Okay, Marissa? And again, number 32 on the next page is another practice just like that. Okay, going back to those topics. Anything else here? Let's get it going. Lily, you're up. Ashley on deck. 12, find an angle given a right triangle and two sides. You got it. Let me take a peek at that. Just wanna... 25. Question 25. Triangle ABC, angle A is 90. I'm not going to do this to you tomorrow, but you remember what lowercase b meant? The side across from angle B is 10. A is 21. Find the measure of angle B. Okay, so I think this answers your question here, Lily. So right triangle, you got Pythag, 30, 60, 45, 45, which probably isn't an option tomorrow in SOHCAHTOA. Which one am I going to need here? SOHCAHTOA, yep. So going from angle X, what's the 10? Opposite, and the 21? Yep. So out of sine, cosine, and tangent, which one am I looking at here? Sine, yep, here we go. Sine of what's your angle? X. Opposite side 10 over hypotenuse 21. We've been doing this a lot in this unit. Where do I go on my calculator now? Because I don't cross multiply here. Inverse, yep. Inverse sine. Inverse sine, and I plug in 10 over 21. And now I'm rounding to the nearest degree. Yep. Ashley, you're up. I'll go back, sorry. Rewrite sine as a, okay, we can do it right here. Okay, number 6. Okay, so it's got to be positive, and what's this telling me here? Acute. Less than 90, yep. But it's going to have the same value of sine of negative 200. So everyone in your calculator right now, do sine of negative 200. Get that decimal up right now. Because whatever our final answer is has to be that same value what's in your calculator. Okay, suggestions. Negative 200. Suggestions? We're not big fans of negative degree measures, so add 360, go ahead. So we're going to do sine of 100n. Is that acute? Nope, so got to keep getting it smaller now. But ready, where's 160? Let's talk quadrants. Second quadrant, sine in the second quadrant. Positive. So I don't need to put a little negative sign next to it. I'm just going to keep it regular sine. How do you make the 160 smaller? Reference angle. Yep. So 160 reference angle. 160 reference angle. 20? I don't know. Did we get the right answer? Let's see. Plug it in your calculator. Sine to 20. Is that same decimal? And I ask you, use the calculator because let's say you forgot a negative sign. You'll know, but when you check it, all right, you'll know. Oh, shoot, I got to put a little negative sign onto it. We good there, Ashley? Okay, so it's positive. It's less than 90. We're good. These two are the same decimal value. We're good to go. Others? You can ask more. I don't care. Yep. 4 coterminal angles. Yep, number 4. Question 4. Which of the following angles is coterminal with 825? Meaning same angle. If I graphed it, same angle as 825. Suggestions. I want to know what's the same angle. Lily, suggestion? Let's keep subtracting 360 until I hit one of my answers here. Do I hit it here? Nope, what's this one? 465, do it again. 105, yep. Coterminal means it's the same angle. Same angle, except I don't go around as much. I just have one question in particular I'm going to do with you, but that's the only one I had, and I was going to give you the rest of the time to work on your own. But if you guys keep asking questions, you want to ask more than one question, doesn't bother me here. I'm just giving you the house here. All right, everything on there tomorrow. Going. Yep. Yep, given C. Sure, go ahead. Yep. Okay, ready? Ready? Secant of theta is -2. What must have been cosine theta then? There you go. They're reciprocals. Yep. I could also do this instead, replace secant with cosecant. So this would be sine instead. Yep. Marissa,
Can you go over number 6 in the
you got it in the review packet? Yep, you got it. Okay, 6, everyone. I'll do it. You do me a favor first. Eliminate one of the answers and let everyone know why you're eliminating it. Why are you eliminating 143 degrees? Good.
Because it's not in the right quadrant.
There you go. At least I can get a 1 out of 3 shot instead of 1 out of 4, right? All right, and I'm on what circle here? Unit circle. So in my mind, I'm thinking the x-coordinate is the what? Cosine. And the y-coordinate is the sine. Do you have a preference? Negative 0.6 or negative 0.8? Which one we work with? Okay, so we're going to do the sine. So how have we been finding an angle in our calculator this entire time?
Sine theta.
With the
Finding an angle.
inverse,
Inverse.
right? So what we're going to do is we can do inverse sine, but now what was your y-coordinate?
Negative 0.8.
Yep. Or we could have done inverse cosine, but used what instead?
Negative 0.6.
Correct, because that's the x-coordinate. All right, so now I'm going to go to my calculator. I'll do this one with you because I feel like this is going to be a strange one because we selected a negative number, not a positive. So inverse sine, negative 0.8. Are you getting out negative 53? Okay, what's that really giving me? The reference angle. So that's really 53 degrees right here, Marissa. How can you find that angle in quadrant 3 now? So 53 plus 180, 233. There you go. So because I was on the unit circle, I knew that was the cosine and that was the sine. All right, and anytime I'm asked to find the angle at the end of the problem, I do a little inverse. Okay? Other questions? Anything? Yep. Art?
On the same problem.
Sure.
If you use negative 0.6, you just use cosine?
Inverse cosine, yes.
And then it'd be the same?
I don't think it'll come out to be negative 53. Negative cosine of negative 0.6. It comes out to be 126. About 127 if I round it. That's what my calculator is going to give me. Okay, but that's in what quadrant? Second. My angle's in the third, right? So all you have to do, Art, is take 127, find its reference angle, and that reference angle will be the same reference angle in quadrant 3. All reference angles are the same. Okay, every quadrant. Good one. Good on that? Okay. Anybody else there? Ashley.
And you know it's the reference angle because
It's less than 90.
no, but like if it said it was in the third quadrant.
Say that again?
Because it said it was in the third quadrant, you're like, okay, did you do the reference angle?
Well, 53 I knew was the reference angle because it's less than 90. All reference angles are less than 90. 127, that's not less than 90, so that can't be a reference angle. So that puts it in quadrant 2, which if you do 180 minus 127, you're going to get 53. And that means in every quadrant, the reference angle is 53. Okay? Good? Anybody else going? Okay, the one I wanted to do with you was it's going to seem like a simple one to you, but a big deal to me. Where was the radians question? Question 20. In which quadrant is 2.5 radians? Suggestions? And where do I even approach this? Maddie? Turn it into degrees. Does the 2.5 have a pi with it?
No.
Don't put one then, please. All right, it's just 2.5. What's the conversion? Multiply by 180 over pi. I think we just did this one on the quiz. Is it 143.2? Yeah, okay. So 143.2, and then just what quadrant's 143.2 in? Quadrant 2. Is it, okay, ready? Is it going to freak anybody out tomorrow if I change that to 3 radians? Is it going to freak anybody out if I change it to 1 radian? What are you going to multiply it by? That gives you the degree. Find out what quadrant I'm in. Right? You do 2.5, right? So just replace it with 1. It's going to give you a degree measure. What's it going to give you? What quadrant am I in? Okay. We're good. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you ready? This is it's gonna fire me up because some of you guys are just gonna use your calculator. I'm gonna go nuts when you guys write a decimal down. Ready? You want me to show you, or you got something, or? Well, more than I'll probably do something like this. I'll probably say tangent of 225. I could say sine of 225. Well, you get it down to a reference angle, pick the correct coordinate off the unit circle, and then put this correct sign with it. Yes. All right. Oh, I'm sure there's. Yeah. Oh, should we? Yeah. Yeah, we should. All right. 19. Okay, 19. There's 3 of them at the very. There's going to be 3 of them at the very end. 3 of them. Last page, parts A, B, and C. Find the exact value. Sum A, B in degrees. At the end of and here's what I'm going to flip. Because I'm going to get tangent negative 240, and somebody's going to give me this negative 1.7 business on the calculator. Why? Why? It's going to say exact value, which means what? No darn decimals, please. Radicals and fractions only. All right, where are you going from here? You tell me, what's your first move tomorrow? Negative 240. I wouldn't find it yet. Negative 2. Maybe you could. Negative. I personally don't like to live in the negatives. I'd like to do a positive angle, so add 360 to it. We're doing tangent of 120. Yep. Where are you taking it from here? Yeah, sure. What quadrant? What's that tell me then if it's in the second? Tangent's negative, so just whether you... Now, do I need to see this right here? Negative tan of 120? No, if you want to write yourself a note, answer should be negative. Circle it, bold it in, whatever. That's fine. I don't need to see this. All right, but something that's going to remind you, hey, tough guy, tough girl, the answer is going to be negative at the end. All right, something there. And what am I doing the 120 now? There you go. Which would be 60. Good pick here, Lily, because tangent's a little different beast. What do you know about 60? 24 hours from now. Yep. Tangent, though. Tangent. Y coordinate over the X coordinate. Yep. Correct. Correct. And I am just doing exactly what you just said. Here we go. If anybody's wondering where the negative come from, that's just because my answer's got to be negative. You can put it in the denominator. You don't have to have it at all. Just at the end, I should have a negative on my answer. And how you treating this tomorrow? Okay. Negative radical 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. 2's go, and you're just left with negative radical 3. And can we please just take 10 seconds tomorrow for me? Go to your calculator, tangent of negative 240. Next line, negative radical 3, and make sure the 2 things match. Okay? If it happens tomorrow, are we going to leave a radical in the denominator? No, we're going to get rid of it. Good, Lily. And then there's a similar one up above. It looks like 18 cosine of 510. All right, to practice with. Okay, before I forget, because over the summer I added on questions 30 through 34. So if you go to that, or 35, it looks like, wow, I forgot about that. So page 48 right now, page 48 and 49. Because I added these over the summer, I didn't add the answers to the answer key, so I want to give you the answers right now to these. All right, because you'll probably, I know some of you guys go hardcore, and I love that. And you'll probably be like, well, where's the answers to these? And here they are. Okay, there's 30 through 34. If you want to jot those down somewhere next to the question, because they're not on the answer key. Yep. 35, you mean? Yeah, I'm doing it right in my head right now. Radical 7 over hypotenuse, and it's sine, so it has to be negative. Choice 1. 35 should be choice 1. And then you guys can get going here. Yep, everyone. Yep, one sec. Everybody, we're okay here? I'll put the list up. If you want to take a picture of it before you leave, you can. You got 10 minutes. We're all good with the answers for the last 2 pages, 48 and 49. I'll let people finish copying those down, and then I'll put the list back up. Good, Nick? Okay. Okay, go ahead. Ashley? Okay. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm coming over with Ashley in a second, so. Good? Good, boss? Okay.